100 days? 100 days. Hello friends and welcome to 100 Days in Hardcore Minecraft with the Ice and Fire mod. For people not familiar with this mod, although I imagine most of you watching my channel probably are, it adds a bunch of mythological monsters and creatures to the game, the most notable one being dragons, but there is some other crazy cool stuff in here as well. It generally makes the game harder. The monsters are pretty hard to kill, and wait, why? Why do my legs keep disappearing? People familiar with my channel will know that I'm not that great at hardcore, but I've always wanted to do a challenge like this. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the end, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Let's get started. We spawn inside a plains biome surrounded by dark oak forest, which is actually pretty good, although the pillager outpost is sort of alarming. To start things off, of course, we punch some trees, collect some stone, make some starting tools, and then go off in search of dinner. Eventually, I'm gonna have a dragon, and they need to eat a lot of meat. Better start soon. I am tempted by the leather that this cow will provide, but then in the distance, I see sheep, and that looks fantastic. Having a bed on the first night will definitely help our survivability. Sorry, sheep. Then I pick a direction and just start running, collecting resources as I go. Before I know it, night has fallen on night one. I find this spooky cave and make some torches to light it up, and fortunately for me, there are no mobs in here. Phew! I go ahead and collect the iron from this little cave, which isn't very big, create a diamond chest plate, and I've done it! I've survived night one. Go me! Day 2 starts with rain, which is kind of alarming, but there's not much I can do about it. So I continue heading off. I find this ravine, which has some sweet looking ores and stuff in it, but it looks pretty dangerous, so I decide not to go down there. Instead, I parkour across the top of it, which I only realized after was actually a pretty dangerous move. And then I find some more cows willing to donate their leather. And then I stumble across it. It's a village! Fantastic! Maybe we'll live here? That would be handy. The first house I walk into is clearly cursed, so I promptly close the door and leave it alone. The next couple have some loot, but nothing really great. The villagers are also not very happy to see me. Their loss. And then I find some emeralds in another chest and think maybe I can entice them to be my friends with that. But this guy stuck in the barrel wants nothing to do with me still. I end day 3 by planting some sugarcane. This is going to be home. Day 4 is spent securing as many villagers around as I can. Most of them end up going into cobble boxes, but hey, they should be relatively safe from the mobs of the night that way. On day 5, I start a little farm with potatoes and seeds. Gotta eat something. And then I start digging a shaft down to Y11 underneath one of the houses. On the way down, I find another ravine, but I'm just not ready to take it on yet, so I gather as much iron from it as I can and block it off so that no mobs can get to me. Before long, I've got enough iron to make a full set of armor. Awesome. While down here, I also find some gold ore and collect that and find my first diamonds on day 6. I secure them to keep them from falling in the lava. It's an 8 vein. Things are looking up. And then day 7 comes. The day starts easily enough. I decide to go out on an adventure now that I have full iron gear. I leave the forest and enter a plains biome bordering a taiga. While swimming across the river, a strange thing happens. I get this crazy lag spike. What the heck's going on here? And then I see it. Oh my goodness, it's an ice dragon. I yeet my sword in a panic and run as fast as I can while I hear the noises of it spitting ice behind me. The best course of action I have is to dig into the side of this hill. There's no way I can tag on a dragon at this stage. At this point, I am literally panicking so hard. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. But then, the noise stops. I exit my hidey hole, go find my sword, and survey the damage it has done. It's lagging so bad, but it's busy catching salmon, so I run into the forest nearby and hide in a little cave. This ends day 7. Holy cow, I almost died. In the morning, I run home as quick as I can with the sound of the dragon behind me. Fortunately, it doesn't catch up, and I spend the rest of the day relaxing by working on my garden. I've got some work to do. The next 2.5 days are spent entirely underground. I want some golden apples, and I need more diamonds to make myself better armor. Iron just isn't gonna cut it. Ice and Fire is a brutal mod with very dangerous critters. Anytime I come across an obstacle, I either block it off or make it as safe as I can. I'm not a very good hardcore player, and I need to give myself every chance to make it to the end. By day 11, I've got enough diamonds to make myself a diamond pick, sword, chest plate, and leggings. Day 12 starts off with more leather collecting and exploration. Before too long, I found an ocean, so I craft myself a set of earplugs so that if I come across any sirens, they won't be able to lure me in. I set off in my boat, hugging the shore in case there are any sea serpents around, but I don't find anything. That night, I camp out on the beach and watch the moon rise. The next day, I find a shipwreck, but sadly, it doesn't have any chests in it at all. I spent some time digging around. No luck. On the way home overland, I come across a gravel biome. There's not a whole lot here except for some more cows. Hey, don't look at me like that. I need a full enchanting setup. I work on my crops some more when I get home that night, but then I am rudely interrupted by two baby zombies. Fortunately, they're very easy to take care of in the water. Deciding it's a little too late to be gardening, I go down into my mine for another session of diamond collecting. Instead of diamonds, I find this crazy ravine. Nope, too dangerous. I'll come back later. I spend the next couple days working with my villagers, making a fletching table and then some paper to turn into books, to turn into bookshelves, to make into a lectern so I can try to get a good book from a librarian. I spend all of day 14 trying to get a good trade, but I have no luck. Aqua affinity? Garbage! I put that quest aside for the moment and spend day 15 chopping down a lot of the trees around my town. This is going to make me safer because I'll be able to see mobs from farther out and they won't be able to hide anywhere during the daylight. And it's also going to give me an important resource that I need. Yep, that's right, sticks. The villager that I've turned into a Fletcher really likes these, and I get my first emeralds from trading. After trading all of my sticks and getting more emeralds, I buy myself a bow and some arrows. This is going to help my survivability a lot. For the rest of day 16, I make myself some more bookshelves, smelt up some iron and food, and organize my chest so that it doesn't get too messy in here. Day 17 is a busy one. I go out and find some cows to lead back so that I can start my own farm. They seem pretty happy with me for now, just don't tell them that I'm breeding them for leather and dragon food. I chop down a few more trees to make more sticks, and then I work on expanding my farm. By this point, I have enough potatoes that I can trade them to my farmer for more emeralds. I try getting my librarian to give me a better trade, still no luck. So to ease my frustration, I work on my farm some more. Days 18 through 20 are all about preparation. I mine my first obsidian and spend a day collecting more diamonds to get ready for the big battle ahead. Once I have enough, I go back up to the surface. I trade with my Fletcher to get another stack of arrows, spelt up some gold to make some golden apples, and create the last two pieces of diamond armor I was missing. I then say goodbye to my cows. This might be the last time I see them. And I go to bed early. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. I take a moment on the morning of day 21 to appreciate my village and all I have accomplished here. If I never make it back, I can be proud of what I've done in the past 20 days. Fully equipped with all of my diamond gear, my golden apples, my bucket of water, my bow with 2 stacks of arrows, I head back down the path towards where I saw the dragon. 2 weeks have passed, and I think I can take it on now. It doesn't take me long to spot it hovering over the river. I immediately get under cover and use my shovel to dig myself a little hole in the ground. My laptop performed so poorly the first time around that I've turned off dragon griefing this time. That does make this battle pretty cheesy, but to be honest, I have tried going head to head with a dragon with only diamond gear on, and it's really hard to live and do it without cheesing it. I shoot off several bow shots as it flies around and tries to get at me, but it can't. And then, for the final kill, I go in with my sword as it roars on the cliffside above. I've done it! I'm a dragon slayer! I am so unbelievably excited. I have never killed a dragon before in hardcore, and I didn't know if I could do it, to be honest. I right-click it for all of its loot and check out what I've gotten. Sadly, it only gave me 11 dragon scales. That's a pretty low amount. I then go find its nest and collect all of the contents of the chest and collect all of the silver. While I'm looting things, I'm getting a lot of lag spikes again, and that makes me wonder. So I continue heading a little ways past the nest just to see what's over here. I have a sneaking suspicion. Ooh. Yes. You know what? I think we're going to save that for another day. 2 days later, I'm back. I see its nest in this field, but I don't see the dragon itself, which is kind of unusual. Where could it have gone? And then I find it at the far end of the field. It's engaged with something, but I can't tell what from this distance. I take a shot from a distance, not expecting to be able to hit it, and then I see what it's fighting. Oh my goodness! It's a cyclops! Who wins in a fight between a stage 3 fire dragon and a cyclops? I have no idea. I watch them from afar, hoping they'll take each other out and I can swoop in to claim the rewards. The dragon knocks the cyclops into the woods and I follow at a safe distance, staying under cover so as not to be noticed. After a bit, it seems like their battle has stopped and I get just a little bit closer. I see an opening between the branches and I take it, pinging the dragon from afar. It's hard to hit back here, but safer. That is, until the dragon notices me. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing I had my water handy. That could have gone bad. But has clearly been wounded from the Cyclops fight. It doesn't take me too many shots with my bow to knock it out. I approach cautiously, just in case the Cyclops is still around. But I don't see it anywhere. This one looks smaller than the ice dragon that I fought before, but it's hard to say for sure. All surface dragons are stage 3, but they can be different sizes of stage 3. I loot it and am incredibly dismayed by what I discover. 0 dragon scales! I can't believe I've been so unlucky. That's never happened to me before. I go back to the plains biome to find its nest, and am dismayed to see that the Cyclops is still standing. It is kind of hovering over the nest. There's a trick to taking on Cyclops in this mod. If you can hit them in the eye, you blind them and they become much easier to deal with. But I'm too far away to be able to get it, and then it turns away from me and disappears altogether. So I go over to the roost to loot it. While I'm looting it, the Cyclops comes back into view. Oh no! I keep a close eye on it while I loot it, but it doesn't get any closer. Mission accomplished. The next morning, a friendly Enderman delivers a block of grass to my doorstep. This is great. I don't have Silk Touch yet. I spend the day doing mundane things, working on my farm, and trading with my villagers. And then, a strange thing happens in the evening. I go up to bed and I can't sleep because there are monsters nearby. I break out onto my roof and see a couple zombies, so I go to pick them off. Nothing unusual. But then, the zombies just keep coming. Guys, is this seriously the zombie apocalypse? I have never seen this before. This is a crazy number of zombies. One of them even has an iron sword. Eventually, my sword takes care of them all. That was weird. Days 26 through 28 are spent exploring. I'm hoping to find more dragons so that I can get more dragon scales. 11 isn't enough. I need 24 for a full set of armor. This savannah village looks interesting, and I grab some melons, and then I find my very first dragon skeleton. It's surprising I haven't come across one of these yet. And then I come across the most dangerous thing in the savannah. No, not the cow that's for leather. I'm talking about the cockatrice. These guys grant the wither effect and nausea when you look at them, which makes them hard to fight because you can't exactly see where they are, and they do damage to you over time. During this fight, I drop down to 4 hearts, and when I get withered again, I decide it's time to use my golden apple and retreat. The bow works a little bit better than the sword. I can turn and look away until nausea disappears, and then quick look at them and shoot them. Why is it worth killing cockatrices? They drop something called a wither bone. You can use this along with dragon bones to make dragon bone tools. This is better quality than diamond gear stuff. I find a second one looming at another village, and ping it from a distance with my bow. The fact that night is falling is kind of concerning me though. So I hop into bed while it's swimming across the river. Sleep faster! Once I wake up, I turn around and I'm able to get the last couple shots on it. This one is super rude though. No witherbone. Also, no dragon. Day 29. The usual. You're used to this by now. But then later in the afternoon, I get to work making books and bookshelves. 15 bookcases. I wonder what this could mean. I expand the cobble house that I'm living in, making it big enough to fit. Well, I'm sure you can guess by now. It's going to be nice to have a full enchanting setup, and I even have enough levels now to make use of it. I drop the bookshelves and then run upstairs to make the 2 pieces of armor that I can use doing the dragon scales. 11 scales is exactly enough for leggings and boots. It'll have to do for now. I cycle through all my armor and tools looking for what has the best enchantments. I end up giving my sword sharpness 3. That should help against dragons. And then after that, I roll blast protection 4 on the leggings. Awesome! Now we're getting somewhere. Days 31 and 32 are more of the usual. Crops, tree chopping, trading with my villagers, but I'm preparing for something this time. I grab some more arrows from my Fletcher and then make up some more golden apples to replace the ones that I lost fighting against the cockatrices. I then go collect some sand. Apparently, this is the first time I've picked up sand so far. The sand gets turned into glass, and the glass gets turned into bottles. You'll see soon enough. Day 33, another dragon battle. This time, I'm feeling more confident because I actually have dragon scale armor and better weaponry. It doesn't take me long to locate it, and I do my usual method of pinging it through the trees with my bow, ducking into a cave whenever it gets close to me. Before long, it's dead. When you kill a dragon, you can choose to get dragon scales from it or dragon blood. To get dragon blood, you have a water bottle in your slot and you right click it, and you'll get the kind associated with that dragon. Then you can combine that blood with a dragon bone sword to get an iced or fired version of that sword that is more powerful. When you do that, though, you get less scales, but fortunately, this guy still drops 16 scales, which is great. I can complete my armor, which is exactly what I do when I get home the next morning. Ah, full dragon scale armor. This feels pretty dang good. I also use the wither bone I got from the cockatrice to make my sword, and then turn that sword into an iced sword. Nice! I go over to my enchanting setup and use the levels I got from killing the dragon to see what I get. Sharpness 4 sounds pretty good to me. 12 damage. I'll take it. Days 35 and 36. More diamonds. And more enchanting. I'm excited to see Infinity roll up for this bow, but sadly, it's only Infinity. I take out my frustration on some mobs underground with my new sword. It works so well. I love this thing. This mine shaft that I've discovered doesn't have a whole lot for loot, but I can always use golden apples and name tags. It leads into a scary looking ravine, but ravines are no longer so scary these days now that I have full dragon scale armor. On day 37, I find an exposed dungeon. Sadly, it's a zombie dungeon, which isn't as exciting, but it's still good for experience. So I turn it into a rudimentary, keyword, very, very rudimentary farm. It's pretty slow, but it works, and I get some experience that I use to, yes, work on enchanting more things. On day 39, I decide to turn all of the hay bales into hay and trade them to my farmer for more emeralds. I also stay up all one night looking for skeletons. I'm going to be needing a bunch of bones coming up, and with the experience from that, more enchanting. Finally, on the afternoon of day 41, I get a mending book trade. Oh my goodness, I have waited so long for this. You're getting this entire sequence of me mining lapis on day 42 because I had run completely out. Lapis has been more rare than diamonds for me. Oh yeah, and we find some more diamonds too. Whoop-de-doo. So to get a tame dragon in Ice and Fire, you need to find a stage 4 or 5 dragon in a den underground, a female one. And they tend to spawn with one opening towards a cave, so the best way to find them is to go looking underground, which is exactly what I do from days 44 to 47. I scour ravines, which are a good place to find them because there's a lot of exposed ground. And fortunately, I'm geared up enough now where it's not so scary having to deal with all these mobs. No dragon dens so far. Mine shafts are also a pretty good place to look for them because they cover a big area. The dens don't spawn very frequently, so I have to look as often as possible because there's a real chance that I might not find one in time for my 100 days. So caving becomes a big focus for this next part of my adventure. Oh, and yeah, I keep killing skeletons while I'm at it. Day 48. I enchant another bow and only get infinity again. I don't want to talk about it. Day 49. I enchant another bow and get power 3 and flame. Okay, this I can work with. I combine the two bows and get something usable. The next day I take my fancy new bow adventuring and I find a Gorgon temple. Gorgons are kind of scary. If they look at you, they turn you to stone. It's instant death. But there is a way that you can defeat them. If you make yourself a blindfold, which is a pretty cheap recipe, and put that on, then, well, technically you're not looking at them, so you don't get turned to stone. Inside the temple, there are two levers that need to be flicked to open up the path down to the basement where the Gorgon is waiting. I descend the narrow staircase with trepidation and put on my blindfold near the bottom. I can hear her eerie call. If you hit a Gorgon with a close range weapon, you get poisoned, so it's better to hit him with a bow from a distance. Thank you, power 3. A little morbid, but that head might come in handy later. I venture inland from the ocean and find a savanna with a dragon in it. I'm positive it must be a lightning dragon, given the biome, but no, it's a bronze fire dragon. What are you doing here, buddy? I start the battle with my bow, but then I remember I have my iced dragon bone sword, and that does extra damage to fire dragons. I pop in and out of my hole like a groundhog, taking one swing and stepping back into safety. If it grabs me and shakes me, I'm in trouble. Fortunately, I'm able to whittle it down a little at a time. Dragon number 4 in the books. I collect fire dragon blood in a bottle so I can make a fire dragon sword if I want to, and then take the rest in scales. While I'm on the surface, I also track down some more cockatrices and get more wither bones so I can make more tools. The next 5 days, I spend completely underground, below the savannah, searching around for dragon dens. I search through mine shafts, ravines, caves. I find a dungeon even, and I do a bunch of strip mining. If you're going to try strip mining or branch mining to find a dragon nest underground, the ideal level I've heard is somewhere between 35 and 40. That kind of puts you equally between the bedrock and the surface. No dragon cave. And then on day 59, it finally happens. You can tell that you found a dragon cave by the special black or ice stone on the outside of it. I take a peek inside to see if I can figure out if the cave dragon is a male or female, but it's just too dark in there. Well, either way, it's going to be worth it. So on day 60, I go back up to the surface and collect a bunch of stuff I need and make a little base camp to prepare. I make a new shield, some more torches, and I put my stuff in a chest so I have plenty of room in my inventory. The next day, I am back. I poke myself a little hole into the side of the den and survey, trying to figure out where it's at and how I can best attack it. While I'm assessing the situation, a zombie sneaks up from behind me and tries to punch me into the cave. I almost have a heart attack. I decide the best course is going to be to wall off this part of the mine shaft and attack from here. While I'm walling it off, the dragon wakes up. The only warning I get is a glimpse of a malevolent purple eye before it attacks. Holy cow, that's loud and very, very scary. My arrows seem so insignificant compared to its vast size. How am I ever going to pull this off? The answer, of course, is to take care of it slowly and carefully and not put myself at undue risk. One mistake and this dragon could kill me very easily. Eventually, the noise stops. Is it dead? Have I done it? I carefully peek inside the cave. Looks all clear. My first course of action is to light up the cave and make it safe so that more mobs aren't spawning in and trying to gang up on me while I'm looting things. I then survey the dragon. No purple edges on its wings. I'm pretty sure it's a female. That's exciting. I step in carefully to loot it. Please let me be right. And then I see it. It's dropped an egg. We've done it. I'm gonna have my own dragon. I can't believe it. And of course, while I'm in here, I collect all of the ores and contents of the chests from the den as well. There's a lot of pretty good stuff in here. The hardest part is deciding what of it to take home, which is what I do on day 61 and 62. Slowly, triumphantly, making my way back to my house. That's a pretty good haul. I spend the next couple days collecting resources, but this time it's not for trading. I'm going to build a tower, and I need a bunch of wood and smelted stone to do it. And I've got the perfect spot. Right here at the edge of the village, there's this little island that I think a tower would look really cool on. The whole time, I keep an eye on the weather. And then, before I know it, it's raining. I've never been so happy to see rain in my life. You see, to hatch a lightning dragon, you need rain. So I plonk it down at night and stand ready with my sword. By morning, it's happened! The dragon has hatched. I have my very own lightning dragon. And it's so cute. I love how the stage 1 dragons sit on your shoulder. They're so adorable. I then quickly craft up a dragon command staff and a dragon horn so that I can tell the dragon to stay and carry it around with me. I decide to name her Tempest. And yes, I say her because it's a female. Welcome to the world, Tempest. I'm so happy you're here. Tempest isn't the only critter in the area. While I'm doing my usual farming stuff, I spot, well, at first I think it's my dragon in the water, but it's actually a fox. Huh, interesting. Hello, fox. Days 68 through 78. Tower building time. Tempest keeps watch below while I start at the bottom and build my way up to the top. This is a design that I worked out first in creative. I'm not very good at coming up with designs just in survival alone. When I do that, I end up having to rebuild things several times. The materials for this are pretty simple: oak wood, spruce wood, and then cobble and stone bricks. The design is inspired by a couple different YouTubers, although I didn't copy any one person's design. I would say that Gemini Tay and the Mythical Sausage were the designs I probably used the most in this build. It's not a super complex design, but I really did like it. Although, the higher up I got, the more nerve-wracking it got. That view from the top, though, totally worth it. This is actually the first time I've tried building a tower in Minecraft. I'm pretty satisfied with the results. Once I finished off the roof, I jumped down to the bottom and then built my way back up to the top again with a spiral staircase. Oh yeah, and I also had to take care of the jank staircase I'd made along the outside to get up to the top. And when I was done, it was time to step back and survey my work. Yup, It fits in with the village really well. Total time? Well, I slept every night, so an hour and 40 minutes. Day 79 starts with some villager trading, and then I make a new pair of boots and go down to enchant. This is the last piece of armor that needs enchanting. Yes, that makes protection 4, variance, and unbreaking 3 on all of my armor. I'm feeling pretty good. I also make myself a dragon bone pickaxe and enchant that with silk touch. Nice! Then it's back down into the case for the next couple days. I still need a lot of bones, so every skeleton I see, I take care of. I'm hoping to maybe find a skeleton dungeon down here someday, but I don't have luck this time. Still, I get some bones, and I also pick up some more resources I need. I also have a need for iron coming up, and there's plenty of iron down here. On day 83, it's back up to the surface. I've got enough bones now where it's time to make some dragon meal. For anyone who doesn't know, dragon meal is something that you make using bones and meat that you can give to dragons to age them up a day. I've also acquired enough iron to make full iron armor for my dragon. I think it requires 21 blocks total. I age Tempest up, and she jumps from stage 1 to stage 2 in an instant. One more stage and I can ride her. I then put her armor on. She's looking pretty snazzy. Those cow sounds, though. I need to do something about that. Day 86. While out boating along the coast as I usually do, I am surprised by a sea serpent. And it's a monster of one. I have never seen one this big. I take a swing with my sword, and when it hits me, it does 6 hearts of damage. 2 hits, and I'm dead. My chances are very slim. I get my golden apple into my hand, but I can't put down my shield or it's going to kill me. And then it happens. Ice and Fire is a brutal mod filled with very dangerous critters, and today I fell to one. Oh man, day 86. Oh, that hurts. I'm not gonna lie, that hurts. Still, though, for me, that was a really good showing. I have never gone that long in Ice and Fire without dying before, so huzzah, go me, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have literally put over a month into this video. Thank you so very much for sticking around till the very end. And if you believe this video deserved a rating, a thumbs up helps me and the channel out a lot. And I hope you will consider subscribing if you enjoyed this. I've got more Ice and Fire stuff on my channel. And hey, if you're still here, why not comment down below and let me know what you thought about that sea serpent fight. Oh my goodness, I was not lying when I did the narration for that part. I have never seen a sea serpent that big before. I looked it up, and apparently a large, like, max-size sea serpent is equivalent to a stage 5 dragon, so no wonder I died in 2 hits. But I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. Thanks again. I will see you soon for the next video, whatever that ends up being. Bye for now.